Okay. When I saw the trailer for the Barbie movie, I knew immediately it was a feminist film. Yet men are still so shocked that it turned out to be the way it is. Duh. Anyway, this is Night's Watch, and he's going to give his opinion about it with his lovely wife. Let's get in on it.
If you think I'm doing a solo review, you'd be wrong, because I'm actually joined by my lovely wife, the lady.
I don't come very often. It's been a little while.
It has, hasn't it?
Yes, his housewife leech, who's happy to live off him, but she's too good to show her face in this nerdy atmosphere. You know, she wants to dissociate herself from his nerdy occupations, but it pays the bills. Anyway, let's hear this.
But, you know, movie covered in pink, seemingly quite girly. I figured I'd jump in.
I noticed you said seemingly there. Depends what type of girl. So, we just watched the Barbie movie, and I have a summary here of the Barbie movie that I've also tweeted out. I think it's quite succinct, and it might give you an idea of my thoughts of this film. And, of course, we're going to elaborate and justify these thoughts as well. So, this film is one of the most blatant, man-hating, activism-charged, deranged, subversive, intersectional pieces of insane, hyper-indulgent, third-wave feminist propaganda I have ever seen.
He's right about everything except third wave. It's just feminism. All waves hate men with a passion. Period. This is where these guys they get closer and closer every time, but they never quite hit the bullseye. But it's gotten so bad that he actually used the word feminism. I couldn't believe it. Almost all these losers end up using the words, activism. They like to use the word activist in exchange for feminist to avoid it. But he actually said the word feminist, right? Okay.
And I'm not kidding. I didn't know which way this film was going to go. It looked fun by the trailers. What were your thoughts on the trailer?
Yeah, that's how they suck people in, right? They're getting smarter because they've been trumpeting out their bullshit for so long that they realize in order to get people in these, to get men in here to get insulted, that's the purpose of the films, to spit in men's faces. They don't care that they lose money, by the way. In order to get them in there, that's what they did. They tried to hide it vaguely.
Yeah, the trailers looked fun and goofy and nothing to take seriously. I was like, oh, this could be a bit of fun. Might even take the kids. You know, it'd be a bit of a laugh and you don't really need to worry much about it.
And so that's right, the trailers didn't have any kind of warning signs that this was just for propaganda to really push certain ideologies or anything like that. And so I was wondering, this
feminism, just say feminism, dipstick.
Kind of looked fun. I am interested in the way Barbie is, or properties that Barbie puts out, because I have a daughter and she loves Barbie, and so I think Barbie.
A certain idea. They always say certain ideologies. When these guys talk about the KKK, they don't say certain ideologies. They say, you know, racism, right? So no matter how much, they're always getting close to the target and backing off, getting close, backing off. You ever notice that? They never really want to deal with the situation.
It can be a really positive influence on girls, and shockingly enough, I've seen some Barbie movies and shows that weren't terrible. There was a cartoon series called Barbie Dream House of Fun. Was that the one?
Life in the Dream House.
Life in the Dream House.
They used to have decent stuff in the past. Well, feminism is here, and it's in all media, so deal with it.
I hated this film.
And you could tell as he watched it that he hated it.
But you didn't hate it, did you? Did you ever notice this, pal? You ever notice your wife didn't say she hated its guts? Right. That should tell you something about your wife.
I looked to you as well, though, and I didn't see many smiles.
There was the occasional laugh, and I enjoyed parts of it.
Of course she did, because it's not insulting her. And she doesn't feel the same vitriol about you. She's not just thinking, hey, this is insulting my man and he's a great guy. There's none of that there. Your wife is very common. Night's Watch.
But the grinding of teeth next to me was a very good indication of where this movie was going.
Yeah, the grinding of teeth next to me, but I wasn't grinding my teeth. Yeah, like I said, everyone, this is what you get in marriage, right? Women do not feel the pain, the empathy for men. Sorry, they just don't.
It started not like so there's the opening, and it wasn't necessarily terrible, but there were warning signs. And I think I was willing to be very charitable to this film because I was expecting this is a girly film. It should be made to celebrate girls and everything. So I was expecting Barbie to be the hyper competent, the main character, and for Ken to be a goof. They kind of leaned into that, showing with the trailer. So I was expecting that, and that's fine for this type of film. This is a film for girls.
And it's about Barbie. Barbie has always been the showcase toy, not Ken.
That's a good thing to bring up too, by the way. Girls don't get their stuff wrecked, do they? So this man hatred is the standard for society.
And he's just been the side toy. And so when you see a movie about Barbie, you expect Barbie's going to be the highlight. She's going to be amazing and everything. Ken's going to be along for the ride. And you might get something fun out of it.
What I was not expecting was the insane level of man-hating in this film. Like unbelievable.
When you are a sucker, this has been going on continuously. So what made you think this was going to be any different?
So, and the amount of disdain Barbie has for Ken, and look, I just need to start talking about spoilers, really, because
let's just warning out, jumping straight into spoilers because it needs to be pulled apart.
This is 0 out of 10 territory for me because it's just propaganda. It's just ideology meant to indoctrinate, and I can't stand.
That's right. It's hatred of men. You can say it. You can say it.
And it's got the most veneer wrapping of a film. When I say it's bad, right, this is why we need to go into spoilers to explain just how bad and why I have such a low rating on it. But did you want to give a rating? You don't have to. But...
No, I incline not to give ratings. I just kind of explain things that I like and dislike about a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't really care here, neither here nor there, right? Because it doesn't affect her in the end, pal. This movie may not be her cup of tea, but she doesn't really care. She has no passion against it. That's your wife.
Because Ken is the antagonist of the film. He is the ultimate bad guy. I was not expecting them to actually make not only Ken, all the Kens, the evil people who they need to save Barbie Land from. And not only that, this is the summary of the film. I'm not kidding, okay? Barbie takes Ken into the real world. Ken discovers the amount how they portray the world is just insane. It's the most hyper exaggerated, insulting, misogynistic piece of crap world you could ever imagine.
It's not really exaggerated. It's false, right? You're giving into their frame. You're assuming that it's exaggerated, but something's there. There is no misogyny, pal. There is no misogyny. It doesn't exist.
Imagine it's the world that insane feminazis who despise men think the world is like.
Yeah, so any man that they come across, dog whistles and
they don't necessarily think it; they just portray it. That's a fine distinction, but it's important. They know it's not that way. They don't think, "Hey, what's your name? Night Watch or whatever your actual real name is. I forget your real name." They don't think it. These feminists are man haters. They know what the world is actually about. They just portray it that way, okay?
And makes crude comments and
Sexist beyond belief.
Yeah, is a jerks and only worried about money and themselves.
And power and controlling and keeping women down, and it's the most hyper-exaggerated insanity you could imagine. And it's like a feminist wet dream, because...
It's not insanity, though. It's hatred. You've got to get it right.
They think the world is that way. But also, I really get the impression they want the world to be this way to validate all their resent and their...
Thank you. Now he's actually getting very close to the point. Matter of fact, he actually hit the nail. They want to portray the world like that so they can validate their resentment, their hatred towards men.
activism and stuff.
Oh, by the way, everyone, women have zero justification for hating men. Zero. See this guy? He's the one who pays the bills, and this one woman's living off him, right? Women have zero justification to hate men. Men adore women. Men bribe women to be in their lives, right? Women's hatred of men has zero justification.
Because that means they can really stick it to the man and make propaganda junk like this. And so Ken discovers patriarchy in the real world, takes it back to Barbie world, overtakes Barbie world with patriarchy, and Barbie has to save Barbie world from Ken and patriarchy with I'm not kidding, feminist propaganda, okay? And when I say, and it's also like the most contradictory, horrible type of like, oh, what's the word? It's like hyper indulgent, exaggerating, playing into women's insecurities type of propaganda to justify all this type of sticking it to the man stuff.
It's not insecurity though. It's they're biased. That's what it is. Okay.
They save it with that. That's the film. It is a film that defeats patriarchy. Patriarchy is the enemy. Ken is the enemy, the bad guy.
Hey, I didn't watch this yet. I'm not going to watch it at all. But the question is, I bet they don't kick all these men out, right? I want you guys to understand that these films, it's rare that the men are just ousted and the women live on their own, right? Because a hate movement needs someone to hate, right? So it wouldn't surprise me at the end of the film that the evil Ken is defeated, but he's not ostracized. He's not kicked out of society. Like I said, I haven't seen the film, so I could be wrong, but it wouldn't surprise me, okay?
And Barbie defeats patriarchy.
By insecurities.
By insecurities and feminism. And I'm not kidding. You think I'm exaggerating? I'm not.
Well, you know something? The one true thing would be the fact that you said Barbie has complete contempt for Ken. You say that's actually real life. Women have to have real contempt for men to allow what's going on. They support this. Women enable feminism. That's why it's gotten where it has. Both men and women enabled it. Like I said, here's your wife. She's not angry, right? She has no real passion against this film, pal, right? So she enables it. And you gripe about it, but you don't protest it. So you enable it. So that's why these disgusting feminist films are made. Neither of you two would put up with like a racist film, would you? You might actually get a part of a protest and stop a racist film from going on. But a misandric film, well, she's all right with it, and you're going to sit and do nothing, right? That's why it happens, right? I mean, the world is going to hell in the handbag. And it's because men don't want to come to terms with how women view them. It's that simple. You know something, I'll probably watch this for fun, but this is as far as my video needs to go. It's I told you so, and it's revealing. This talk between him and his wife is revealing about the very nature of men and women and why these films can be made. Okay, thanks.